Everything, I guess, that defines personal was blown away when the levees broke. So houses are gone, neighbors died, the government wasn't there. What you count on, right? What do you count on? Your family, your neighbors, your employment, your community, your schools, your government. Forget it.
And I think being here in New Orleans this week, working side by side with one another, making the kind of contribution to this community, I think will reinforce the essence of what it means to work for this company.
Every neighborhood in the city was wiped out by this, and every neighborhood in the city didn't accept that and said, well, we're figuring out a way to come back.
And we're coming to New Orleans not only to have a conference, but make a significant difference in this community.
I don't know what to tell you. It's life, and it changed, you know. And there were times that were hopeless.
It's beyond my comprehension that people are still living in FEMA trailers, that houses have not been rebuilt, that the level of poverty and despair is still going on.
No one company has come into New Orleans and done a block of volunteerism that anywhere approaches what we're doing, over 50,000 hours of volunteer hours.
I'm planning that they're going to do construction. What they're really going to do, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. As long as it's all community and we're all together, and you know when people work all together, you can see the difference right away. There is no house, like 5 hours later, there is a house because they just built it.
And what's my purpose? What's going to happen to me? What's going to come out of this for me personally?
You're going to feel good because you did something for this world. I wish we can do more. It's just, with this society and busy life, basically what we can do, we can just make people happy.
So I'm hoping to leave here differently than I came.
So much of what we have tried to do is build a platform for a different type of business, a business that would achieve the fragile balance between profitability and maintaining and integrating a social conscience in everything we would do.
When we looked at putting together an event on the scale of this with 10,000 people coming together, we really wanted to not only have a learning experience, but we wanted to have an experience where we did some good and we got together and made a real difference.
When you get everybody together and you just feel the unity and you feel the power, because we all share this love for the company, for each other, this passion for what we do every day.
I feel a deep sense of personal responsibility to the people who are relying on me and others. I'm not nervous, but you have adrenaline. There are just seconds where if I have to do something really important, I think of my dad. Just for a second. You know, I kind of let him in and then I just go. Let me formally welcome you to New Orleans, to the general session, and perhaps most importantly, tell you how proud I am to be your partner.
It's a stadium full of people. But to describe it in Starbucks terms, it is 10,000 partners, all facing the same direction, all having the same sense of where it is we have to go, and all having the same belief in their heart around how we're going to get there. And that's an incredibly powerful experience.
We said we couldn't leave Seattle and serve 10,000 cups of coffee in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Do you think we can serve coffee in 2 minutes and 25 seconds? Oh yeah, we got it from the city going on. All right.
When I serve the coffee, I really want to beat my 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Scooter, this is Mary. Come in.
Ready to roll.
Scooter, do you have your coffee yet? Is this ready? Roll it to that station right there. More coffee is on its way. Stand by.
Headed into the state. 24 gallons.
Please, please, please.
Start the pour.
Come on, bring him, come on.
Go. Come on, everybody. Move it. Fast. Let's go.
Let's taste the coffee.
This is the largest coffee tasting we've ever had, and perhaps anyone's ever had, a coffee tasting for 10,000 people.
We just served Thanksgiving blend, hot and perfect, in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Yeah, you took me down.
Ritz by my side, though.
That was great.
Woo!
So I can only imagine, whatever they're thinking, it's going to be more than that. If they think it's going to be emotional, it's going to be tenfold. If they think it's going to be energizing, it's going to be 100-fold.
The reason we're here in New Orleans, and the reason we've made this investment, is because we've made this investment in you. And all we're asking is to take all of this back, share it with your partners, share it with your customers, and really, really exhibit the power of this company, and that is you. I wanted to come to New Orleans on my own to experience what has taken place post-Katrina. You know, it's one of those things where you could be a bystander and ignore it. But I think that's why we're here. That is exactly why we're here.
And we'll be doing everything from building a playground. We're planting 350 trees, and there's 31 houses that we're doing. These residents will actually be able to move back into their home after 3 years of trying to get back in there.
I think it's awesome that we can mobilize so many people, and definitely in this time of transformation in our company, to take time out to stop what we're doing, to come to New Orleans. It's again about building us back up as a company, but helping New Orleans rebuild.
One of the most impactful things to me was having the privilege to go out and help folks in the community by painting a house.
Oh, well, I came home. The water was around here was 10 foot deep. Everything I had was gone. You know, I had a family. I knew I had to come home. You know, I don't want to live nowhere else. I'm born and raised here. That's all I know is New Orleans.
And the gratitude of a family. They couldn't fix the house.
I don't quit. I'm not the type to give up. I do everything I can. It was I don't know how to explain it to you, but it was unbelievable when they called me. Now that I'm seeing it here, I don't know what to say. But without your help, I'd have a hard time.
I saw the mom walking away from the house after the first hour. She'd been shopping for food, but she'd been shopping for food for us, for 28 people who were helping paint the house. It wasn't for a family. So I'm thinking, you have nothing, and you're still giving. It's an amazing vignette of how people come together during desperate times, and the dignity that exists in these moments.
My number one priority is to make a difference in somebody's life, either in painting a house or a room, and then to step back and say, I made a difference. I noticed there was a woman sitting there in a kind of walker seat thing, and she was sitting down, and next to her was what I found out to be her granddaughter, and she's maybe 20, and she has cerebral palsy, so she was in a wheelchair. I went over to her and I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm Lori. And she said, hey, baby.
Oh, beautifying the neighborhood, baby. Everything looking wonderful. We stayed away near 3 months from Katrina. But you see, this is my family house, my mother and my daddy house. And they had 2 bus loads came in this morning. So they've been doing a wonderful job.
I just felt like I wanted to make that human connection, and I stayed and got to know the family.
No. I couldn't have did it by myself. Now, I'm gonna be frank with you. I couldn't have did it. So whenever they finish and everything work out all right, but when they get through and they say, well, Miss Cousin, you can move in, and then I'll be ready.
I said, Miss Alice, how does the house look? And she said, baby, it's beautiful. And so I said, what color is it? She said, it's gray and burgundy. And I said, yay, Miss Alice, do you love it? She said, I love it, I love it.
Bye. Take care. Right. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
I think I did what I came to do, and so I'm glad about that.
And when you eat that okra.
Oh,
The single most impactful moment was the way in which our people embraced the community service and what it meant to them.
And it's almost Christmas time, and I know everybody's adopting these families. Back home, everybody adopts a family at the store, and we buy clothes and toys and stuff. And so I'm going to propose to my partners that we kind of adopt Miss Alice and her family.
When you do things for others, you forget sometimes what it does for yourself. And the community service piece, I think, served the company in ways that we probably didn't plan on.
I didn't just come to a leadership conference and learn about customers and partners and new technology. I came and I met some friends.
I think in the timeline of recovery for New Orleans, the contribution that Starbucks makes this week in New Orleans will be included as one of the important steps.
Thank you. You don't know how much your little bit means to us.
I'm emotional. I really am, because it's again, it's not. It's all right. It's great when you get back. Thank you.
I've seen the joy in the hearts and minds of so many people, and I've also seen the tragedy of poverty, despair, and also seen the unbelievable epidemic of HIV and AIDS. Today is an historic day in which we're going to make a unique announcement about a multi-year partnership with Product Red. Ladies and gentlemen, finally.
Over 4,000 African lives are lost every day to preventable, treatable disease. Dying for lack of drugs you can buy in any drugstore. 12 million AIDS orphans in Africa, 18 million by the end of the decade. A whole generation of active adults wiped out. Children bringing up children. It's not a cause, it's an emergency. We're going to do something about it at Starbucks.
Red is about Africa, and it's about dealing with an issue that a lot of people don't want to talk about, which is this epidemic of AIDS in Africa. And those are those same people who are creating the success of Starbucks, who are growing some of the best coffee in the world. And then we also want our customers to know that they are part of a difference that they make, millions of miles away in places like Africa or Latin America or Indonesia, that by buying a cup of Starbucks, that inside this cup, there's a kid over there in Africa who's having a future that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
We will use that scale for good and be a catalyst for change. And we are committed to create a better future for our communities, for our customers, for our partners, and for those farmers.
What our farmers and producers on the ground will talk about is they'll talk about the Starbucks effect. Well, we create the Starbucks effect because we have scale and because we can help the farmers create better quality coffee and there in turn get more money and there in turn build hospitals and schools and have a future for their kids to go to school.
The power of this company is you. And we need to recognize as leaders, unlike any other time in our history, that this is a seminal moment. In a way, it's a test, a crucible, a challenge of how we are going to respond. So please, remember what you've experienced here. Remember how you felt. Remember the words that you wrote on the commitment wall. And when you get back, please do not be a bystander. I will do everything humanly possible to represent you the way that I ask you to represent the company. Passionately, honestly, with great sincerity and humility, and doing everything I humanly can to exceed your expectations in making sure that the future of the company is as great as our past. And my faith in that and my confidence in that is because of the pride I have in being your partner. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There are many times where I could feel myself crying if I let it go. I could cry.
We just like, this is us, this is what we do, this is real difference, this is how much we help. This is amazing. I'm so grateful that Starbucks gave me the opportunity to be a Starbucks leader. Seriously, it's great. I love Starbucks. I love what I do, I love to make a difference. I love my partners, I love everybody. I don't know, it's just crazy.
There's a word that I think of when I think of Starbucks, and it's love. We love what we have built here. We love the experience that we've created for our people. Somehow, along the way, the level of that feeling got somewhat blurred by success. That is one of the things that I think will be very apparent in this week about what it means to love something, and then the responsibility that goes with that.